there, for today's video, we are going to continue learning how to do research over a topic. What topic are we doing research over? Animals, and we picked elephants to do our research over. So what I'd like to do now is go over this little poster right here on the different steps to gather information for a research project. So step 1, make a research plan. Step 2, ask questions to research. Step 3, pick sources to use, and that's the one we're going to be going over today. Step 4, look for information about the topic, and we'll kind of go over that one today too. All right, so step 1 and 2 we did yesterday. We made a research plan out of the questions we wanted to know a little bit more about elephants. So right here is our research plan. Our research plan is we want to know a little bit more about appearance, diet, habitat, family, and facts of an elephant. So here's our questions. What do they look like? What do they eat? Where do they live? Do baby elephants stay with their mothers? And then we want to know a little bit more facts about elephants, right? So step 1 and step 2 went together. Now it's time for step 3, pick sources to use. So I know you might be thinking, what does that mean? Well, so different sources we can use are nonfiction forms. Remember, real. Nonfiction means real. Get facts. We can use magazines, newspapers, or online magazines and newspapers. So I think what we're going to do is we are going to be using some nonfiction books, such as this book right here, Elephants. This book right here gives us so much information about elephants. Just by looking at the table of contents, tells us elephant types, where do you find elephants, living in a herd, them feeding, their trunks, them communicating, moving, life cycle, all that good stuff. Okay, so we will use nonfiction books like this one, and we'll use online. We'll use online books. So right here, whenever we are looking for sources, we can we need to remember we can use magazines, newspapers, nonfiction books, or go online and use magazines and newspapers. So right here, reference sources. I know that's a big kind of word and heading. You can look up words that you don't know in a glossary, dictionary, or picture dictionary. So earlier we did we read that story Elephants, right? And there's a couple of words that we may or may not have known, right? But what did we do? We looked at the glossary and we read the definition. Remember matriarch, that word? That was a big word that we read in that story, Elephants. But we went to the glossary and told us what matriarch means, right? It's usually the older female elephant, right? Okay, so we might come across some words we don't know, but where can we find them? Where can we find the meaning? In the glossary. It's going to tell us what those difficult words mean. All right, so what I'd like to do now is go ahead and show you the website where it has nonfiction information over elephants. All right, this website right here is really cool. Let me go ahead and mute that. This website is really cool. It's called pebblego, and it gives us so much different information, real information, over different topics, such as animals, science, biography, social studies, health. Okay, what are we doing our research over? Are we doing over science or social studies or biographies? No, we're doing it over animals. We are doing our research over animals. Remember earlier we said we need to pick a source. That was step 3, picking a source. Well, sources are nonfiction books, magazines, right? And websites. This website is a good source to help us find real information over what we're wanting to research, which is elephants. So we are going to go ahead and do animals, and we are going to type in elephants, and we're just going to kind of see what it says about elephants. Okay, so let me fix that. Okay, so it says African elephants are huge mammals. They can stand 13 feet tall. African elephants have thick gray skin and large ears. Well, that sounds just like what we read earlier in our story, Elephants. Remember, it talked about them being them having gray skin, large floppy ears. Let's see what else. They use their 2 tusks to dig and to fight off enemies. And they said they have tusk. Okay, let's see what it says about food. Every day, elephants eat more than 200 pounds of food. They grab grass, fruit, or leaves with their trunks. And that's what we read earlier in that story, remember? Elephants? All right, they tear bark from trees with their tusk. Okay, so I'm going to just take these little notes down because in a little while we're going to be writing in our journal. So I'm going to get the information from today's read aloud, yesterday's read aloud, and the information from this website, pebblego, to help me figure out what I want to write in my journal over appearance and diet. Okay, so let's go ahead and go back to our slides. All right, now that we've picked sources to use, which is books and pebblego, the website, we're going to gather the information we've read about appearance and diet, and we are going to write it in our journal. Okay, from yesterday. Okay, so let's see. Did we do step 1? Make a research plan. Check. Ask questions to research. Check. That was yesterday. Pick sources to use. Check. What are our sources? Books and website. Our website is pebblego. And then look for information about the topic. Did we do that? Yes. Whenever we went to pebblego, we looked up elephants and we read a little bit more information about the appearance and diet. Let's go ahead and go to our journal and start writing down those things that we learned.